Hello and welcome. Today, we're diving into a beautiful Vietnamese folktale that has been told for generations. A story filled with magic, lessons, and a very special tree. This is the tale of the Starfruit Tree. Once upon a time, in a quiet village, lived two brothers. After their parents passed away, it was time to divide the inheritance. The elder brother, whose heart was filled with greed, took everything for himself: the sprawling rice fields, the valuable land, and all the family's wealth. To his younger brother, he left only a small, shabby cottage and a single starfruit tree in the backyard. Now, you might think the younger brother would argue or protest, but he and his wife were kind and gentle souls. They accepted their small share without a single complaint. They moved into the cottage and poured all their love and care into the starfruit tree. They watered it, tended to its branches, and protected it from pests. In return, the tree flourished, and soon its branches were heavy with shimmering, star-shaped fruit. The couple was overjoyed. This little tree was their entire livelihood, their only source of income. They looked forward to harvesting the fruit and selling it at the market. But one morning, a shadow fell over their home. A magnificent, enormous bird, larger than any they had ever seen, descended from the sky and landed right on the starfruit tree. It began to feast on the ripe, juicy fruit, one by one. The younger brother's heart sank. He ran out to the tree, his voice trembling with worry, and called up to the great creature. "Oh, honorable bird," he pleaded, "this starfruit tree is all we have. It's our only way to survive. If you eat all the fruit, my wife and I will have nothing left. How will we live?" He expected the bird to ignore him or fly away, but instead it stopped eating. It looked down at the young man with its intelligent eyes and spoke in a clear, resonant voice. "Do not worry, good man. I will repay you for your kindness and your fruit. For every starfruit I eat, I will give you gold in return. Go now and sew a bag that is exactly 3 feet long. When I return, be ready. I will take you to a place where you can collect your payment." The younger brother was stunned. A talking bird, a promise of gold. It seemed too incredible to be true, but something in the bird's voice felt honest. He and his wife rushed inside and, following the bird's instructions precisely, they sewed a sturdy bag measuring exactly 3 feet. They waited with a mix of excitement and disbelief. True to its word, the giant bird returned the next day. "Are you ready?" it asked. The younger brother, holding his 3-foot bag, nodded bravely. "Climb onto my back," the bird commanded. He did as he was told, holding on tightly to the bird's strong feathers. With a powerful flap of its wings, they soared into the sky. The journey was breathtaking. They flew over vast green mountains, across the deep blue sea, and through fluffy white clouds. The wind rushed past him, but the bird flew steadily, carrying him safely on his back. After a long flight, they began to descend towards a remote, glittering island. As they landed, the younger brother gasped. The entire island shimmered and glowed. It wasn't covered in sand, but in gold, jewels, and precious gems of every color. It was a treasure beyond anyone's wildest dreams. "You may fill your bag," the bird said, "but only your bag." Remembering the bird's instructions and his own humble nature, the younger brother did just that. He filled his 3-foot bag with gold, not a single piece more. He didn't stuff his pockets or try to carry extra but manageable. Once it was full, he climbed back onto the bird's back. The journey home was just as smooth, and the bird gently landed him back in his own yard. From that day forward, the lives of the younger brother and his wife were transformed. They were no longer poor. They used the gold wisely, helping not only themselves, but also their neighbors and the poor in their village. They lived in a comfortable home, but they remained the same kind, humble, and generous people they had always been. Word of the younger brother's sudden fortune traveled fast. It wasn't till long before the greedy elder brother noticed that his sibling was no longer living in poverty. He saw the new house, the fine clothes, and the happy smiles. Consumed by jealousy, he stormed over to his younger brother's home. "How did you get so rich?" he demanded. "You had nothing but that worthless starfruit tree." The younger brother, being honest and kind-hearted, didn't hide his secret. He told his elder brother the entire story about the giant bird, the promise of repayment, the 3-foot bag, and the island of gold. As the elder brother listened, his eyes widened with avarice. A cunning plan formed in his mind. He didn't want to wait for his own luck. He wanted his brother's brother. He said, his voice dripping with false sincerity, "Let's make a trade. I will give you all of my property, my vast fields, my large house, all my wealth in exchange for your cottage and that starfruit tree." The younger brother was hesitant, but his older brother insisted, begging and pleading until he finally agreed. The exchange was made. The greedy elder brother and his wife moved into the small cottage, eagerly waiting by the starfruit tree. And just as the younger brother had said, the giant bird soon arrived to eat the starfruit. The elder brother went out and recited the same words his sibling had, complaining that the tree was his only means of survival. The bird, as before, made the same offer: "Eat one starfruit, repay with gold. So a bag and I will take you to collect it." But the elder brother's greed knew no bounds. He thought to himself, "A 3-foot bag? That's far too small. Why take so little when I can take so much?" He instructed his wife to sew the largest bag she possibly could. Instead of a 3-foot bag, they created a massive sack easily 6 feet long and reinforced the seams so it could hold more weight. He was determined to carry back enough gold to make him the richest man in the world. When the bird returned, the elder brother was ready, dragging his enormous bag behind him. The bird eyed the bag but said nothing. The man climbed onto its back, and they flew off towards the island of gold. When they arrived, the elder brother could hardly contain his glee. He scrambled off the bird's back and began stuffing the massive sack with gold. He filled it to the very brim, packing it down to fit more. But that wasn't enough. He then filled his pockets, the lining of his coat, and every pouch he could find. He grabbed the heaviest gold nuggets, ignoring the smaller gems. He was so heavy he could barely walk. Finally, struggling under the immense weight, he dragged the bag and himself back to the bird. "I'm ready to go," he grunted. The bird strained to take off. The weight was immense, far more than it was meant to carry. Its powerful wings beat against the air, struggling to gain altitude. As they flew over the vast, deep sea, the bird began to tire. The load was too great, its balance unstable. Suddenly, a strong gust of wind hit them. The bird faltered, trying desperately to correct its flight, but the weight of the elder brother's greed was too much. The bag shifted, throwing them off balance completely. The bird lurched, and the elder brother, along with his impossibly heavy bag of gold, tumbled from its back. He plunged down, down, down into the churning waves of the ocean below. The weight of his greed pulled him under, and he was never seen again. The giant bird, freed from its burden, flew away, never to return to the Starfruit Tree. And so the elder brother was lost to the sea, a victim of his own insatiable greed. The younger brother, who now had all the land and wealth, continued to live a happy and generous life. The story of the Starfruit Tree became a famous legend, and the phrase, "Eat one starfruit, repay with gold," is still remembered. It serves as a powerful reminder that while kindness and honesty are rewarded, greed ultimately leads to ruin. It teaches us about fairness, humility, and the danger of wanting too much. Thank you so much for joining me for this timeless tale. What do you think is the most important lesson from this story? Let me know in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel for more stories from around the world. We'll see you in the next one.